Welcome to the Hermit Style Podcast with your hosts, Jimmy Bacon and Mike Runchuti. Talking all about the Dragon Ball Super Card Game, presented by Team TCG Mafia and produced by Lobat.
Yo, what's up, everybody? We got first episode of the podcast going. I'm Jimmy. I got Mike here with me.
Howdy.
So, yeah, just starting out, guys. Been playing the game since set one. Recently, trying to play more events now. When the game first started, we traveled a lot. I went to the first regional up in Hartford and kind of dropped off after that, but we've been picking up again. I played in both the last two webcam tourneys and topped those. I know a lot of, I guess, debate on the validity of those, but COVID's going on, so kind of the best we got. But got my invite to the finals next month, so I'm excited about that. And yeah, that's me.
And so I'm Mike. You guys probably see me on Facebook in the main group as Mike. Can't pronounce my last name up there, so gotta hide my identity online from people looking for me.
You're on my phone as Ratuti.
That's right, yeah. They call me Mike Ratuti. The kids call me Mr. Ratatouille, so it is what it is. But I started playing at the end of set 2 during the expansions. That format was awful. I wanted to quit the game, actually. I said, this game is terrible.
Set 2 was fine.
But, because the yellow didn't have a negate, so I said, this doesn't make any sense at all. Like, every color doesn't have a negate. This can't be a game, actually, right? But I stuck with it because
Bro, Tricolor Guinea, though? That deck was fire.
I mean, the decks were cool, but there was just no negate, so there's no way I could respect it. Like, it literally no negate. It just bothered me.
I could play 4 Bloodlust in a deck. Screw a negate.
Yeah. That card is broken. I miss it. But, so I kept playing, and, I've been playing pretty much since then. I have, I topped both Richmond regionals. I topped Otakon. I topped the ARG Invitational in Atlantic City. I lost on camera in top 8. Horrible. Probably one of the worst moments of my life. What else did I top? I'm missing one. I don't even remember. I'm missing one. And I don't count tops as top 32. I know everybody likes to count top 32 to make themselves feel better. That shit's for bitches. If you don't make top cut, you didn't top. Yeah, you got prizing, but who cares? But yeah, that's it for me.
I guess if we're talking about tops, I did top 16 the 1K that happened the day after in the first regional ever. And that gave me my invite to the first ARG invite in Philly. That was the same weekend he topped Gen Con.
Otakon.
Otakon, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I made the right decision. I stayed away from going to that ARG Invitational tournament. I said, Otakon, I get to watch these girls cosplay, and I get to play some Dragon Ball. This has got to be the move.
ARG was fun, though. That event, I lost my last round the winning in. I was pissed. We played the same deck, though. You just played you played Cell Chain more like mid-rangey.
Yep.
I played the more aggressive version.
Played Mysterious Shroud of Fu in my deck. Best card.
That was wild. No one was playing that card in that deck.
Yeah. It won, though. That last round I needed against Daryl Donaldson. He was playing some crazy Goku deck. And I was like, what the hell is going on? I was like, Mysterious Shroud of Fu. I guess that's game. It's perfect. Because on turn 6, I hit him with the Cell Evolve over the 3-drop that just was sitting on my board because I whiffed. It was broken.
Oh.
I didn't even know in that tournament till that moment you could Evolve Cell on top of a Cell. It blew my mind. I was like, damn, I think I got this.
Yeah, I hated that deck, actually. I played Cell Chain in a lot of events, and I hated it every time.
Yeah, I loved it every time I did play it. I thought it was...
I just could not play a deck that just rips every card of my opponent's hand.
It's broken. I need to unleash it, though. You just unleash Sun Goten?
Yeah, that's fine.
Gotta unleash Cell now.
But, yeah, so pretty much with the podcast, we're going to just go over just different things, events going on, news from around what's going on in Dragon Ball, and then we'll just hit a different main topic every week. If there's something y'all want to hear us talk about, let us know in the comments, and we're happy to talk about it. Today's main topic, when we get to it, we talk about the ban list that just dropped, and then we'll wrap it up with just how our games are going. We all play test every week. We're all on Team TCG Mafia. It's me, Mike. We got Chris actually over here in the background.
He refuses to get on the mic, but one day. We got my boy Trevor. He's got the Broken Honor YouTube channel.
Broken Honor, yeah.
He's got pretty high quality. I like his videos.
Oh, they're nice.
And then we got my guy Sean. He's
Shauno.
He's always in the discussion group on Sundays asking people what to play. Check out his deck profile for his Soul Striker. Real gem.
I think it's my favorite deck profile I've ever watched.
Easily my favorite deck profile. It's like
no bias either.
if you're like from the Yu-Gi-Oh community, you probably remember when like Rolly used to do all those deck profiles when he did like, the Frog Monarch profile. This rivals that Frog Monarch profile he did.
Yeah, we'll drop links to everyone on the team's YouTube and stuff like that. And I think Mike, you got a Patreon coming.
I got a Patreon coming. The first article I always start on it, get one paragraph deep, and I'm lazy. I just got to do better, but it's coming though. My Patreon will be free. I won't charge anybody because it's shaky on when articles are going to come out. There's no way I don't have the commitment like that.
Well, it's a good platform though, just to put things out there.
Yeah,
because people can get notified easily.
Exactly. And I also, people need to know the truth about some of the stuff that's going on because people are always lying in these groups about things. Like I saw the other day, somebody said Reboot Gohan's going to get banned. I was like, this is the most retarded shit I've ever read in my life. The deck has no tops for real these days, and you want it banned. And people are perpetuating this in the community. So all the new people who play think that there's something broken about this card when shit sucks.
Well, speaking of that, when I forget what regional it was. It might have been the Hartford regional. It was during set 2. It was during the set 2 format when he just had, what was it? It was you had Ginyu, you had Starter Ku, you had Vegeta, and then I'm not sure if the promo leader, the Mecha Frieza leader that's eroded now, was out at that tournament. But there were a bunch of, I'll say, just high profile names talking about negates are awful in this format, and all of them played aggro decks and topped. It was hilarious.
See, that happens a lot in this
Didn't
game.
catch me, but
That's like when they said Set 10 Goku. We don't talk about these guys. I won't put their names out there. Like Set 10 Goku is tier 1, almost a broken deck this format, and Set 10 Goku has topped maybe 2 events total since for between online case tournaments. The deck fucking sucks because the Meta Cooler wasn't out. Nobody wants to spend $1 million on those cards. They were just hyping up decks for no reason. They do it all the time. So I just want to bring some truth to the newcomers. Anybody who's like a veteran in the game probably won't read my Patreon because what's the point? You know the same thing I know, if not more.
Well, talking about events and things to get ready for, there's 3 events coming up. We've got the 1K that we've got some people from the team traveling to. Oh yeah,
me, Trevor, and Chris will be there. Trevor's going to play Cooler, Red-Blue. I think it's a mistake, but they have the ban list active for this event, so
that helps him a lot.
That does help him a lot.
That deck cannot beat Vegeks.
I beat the living shit out of him. Fucking 3 games in a row. I was like turn 4 kill, turn 3 kill, turn 2 kill. You can't play this deck. There's no reason we're playing this at this point.
That's insane.
So he was feeling down, but now he's back up because they said new ban list. So he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play this Cooler deck. It's neat, See,
I think the advantage of playing a deck like that in a tournament though is, especially at a 1K, you're gonna have a lot of people that you just catch off guard. No one's preparing for that.
Yeah, no one's thinking about that.
He has to play hard on that, for his own advantage. He's got to play hard into them not knowing.
Yeah, I agree. Like, there's a lot of people who don't even know what the Cooler cards do. Like, they know what the Arrival Cooler does, and they know what the big ass Frieza does. But the rest of the cards in between, you're like, what the fuck's that card? Like, the first time he pulled it out on me, I was like, I don't know what any of this shit does. I had to read everything, and that's always a good moment when you're playing somebody and they have to read your card.
Just play for the draw,
Yeah, that's a real strong strategy. Win game 1, if things start going south in game 2 while you're already playing slow, time to draw this shit out,
And this tournament, this is next weekend, right?
Next weekend, yep. The 10th and not 10th and 11th, but the 17th, 18th, I guess. Whatever next weekend is. I say, about to go gambling. It's going to be a great time. I'm personally going to play Bulma when I'm up there. Not that Earthling garbage. That shit sucks. But I'm going to play Bulma because people...
So talk a little bit about some more about what you're playing, because I don't think a lot of people are on this deck. Every time I hear someone playing Bulma, I ask what's in it, and they look at me like I'm stupid and say Earthlings.
Yeah, no, I say there's very low amount of Earthlings in the deck. You have to play the counterplay and counter-attack cards. It's pretty much like playing set 11 Blue Baby, but with the red leader who says I draw 2 at every turn. And has Yamcha the Lawless who lets you draw a 3rd card on the turn. It's just a heavy counterplay deck. And if anybody follows me and things I talk about in discussion group, I keep saying they have to ban Mysterious Shrouded Fu. The card's broken. Everybody tells me it's fair, so I'm just going to play decks that abuse that card, and Boma, I think, does it the best right now. Because I draw the game out. You're at 4 life. I got this Jiren, because there's nobody ever killing Jiren. It's a 20k unison card that's going to have 4 markers after you play it, so it's going nowhere. And a deck full of blockers, so you can constantly save it if they target it. So that's 4 damage right there. How much? And my hand's huge because I've been drawing. So the game plan this weekend is to just Mysterious Shrouded Fu everybody with Jiren on the board and just win that way. And I just need more and more people to get this Fu card banned. I'm like, we have to ban this card. So that's my game plan. And then my boy Chris, he's going to probably play Pilaf.
Chris, you playing Pilaf?
He won't speak. I'm trying to get him to speak so bad. But he's probably going to play Pilaf, though. I'd be surprised if he doesn't play Pilaf. He was going to play Bulma if Vegeks was going to be at full power because the matchup's the easiest matchup against Vegeks. But
It is good against Vegeks.
there's no reason to play.
It's not unwinnable.
No, it's not unwinnable. But it's highly favored.
Going
though.
second is annoying.
Yeah. I mean, I want whatever was highly favored against the best deck in the room. That's normally my strategy when I play. Unless I really just like a deck, and then I'll just play it because I don't care. But if I'm trying to play it, I don't have a favorite deck in the format, and I'm just trying to play, do well. Whatever's good against the most popular deck, I think, is the deck to play.
So yeah, that's the 1K in Jersey, and then we've got the online finals. I believe it's October 17th. It's that Saturday and Sunday. That is the invite tournament from the webcam tourneys. If you get top 8, you get your invite. And yeah, so far the webcam tournaments for me have been really fun. I know there's a lot of higher name players that don't like them. For me, during COVID, I personally don't like going out to big events. I've been kind of staying in. So this is my only opportunity to be somewhat competitive. And honestly, I've been playing good opponents. I think I've only literally out of 14 matches, I've only ever had one opponent not show. So I just don't understand the memes. Everyone posts these memes where they're like, oh, webcam tournament, no show, like they're not playing. I'm playing every round. Literally every round.
Yeah, I think most people who sign up are playing. Like, I played in the first one, the Gen Con ones. I didn't play. I played my first 2 rounds for sure, and I just dropped.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who do that.
But my thing was, it wasn't a bad experience. I would do it if I was nervous about COVID type stuff, which everybody should be nervous. But if you know me, you know I'm a little off in the head anyway, so I don't really care. It's whatever. I'll go out. I have my mask on. This is, and as I say, it's legal for me to go in buildings with a mask on. What a time to be in America. I'm all about it. So but they're not bad tournaments, and there's big name players in them. They shit talking online, but they're in them.
They're in them.
They're definitely in them.
Oh yeah, there's plenty. I mean, and I've had nothing from the people that are actually playing too. I've had nothing but positive experiences. Like I played against Sandy. I haven't played against, but I've seen Robert Rizzi in there. I've seen guys from the Scouter Report in there.
And people talk about cheating. Who's cheating in these tournaments? The prizing's not worth cheating.
No, the prizing's terrible.
I'm going to spend 6-7 hours of my day to fucking cheat for an extra 2 packs.
Right.
You are extremely poor or fucking sick in the head if that's what you're doing with your time.
I think that does drop the level of competitiveness down some, because obviously you're not fighting as hard for that prizing. But if they did it any other way, then cheating would just be almost encouraged. Because it is easy to find ways to cheat on a webcam. I mean, there's endless ways you could cheat.
Put a second copy of your deck next to you.
Right.
I have every card I need.
There's
at all
so
times.
many things you can do.
So that's the same. But I don't think there's much cheating going on. There's more cheating going on in the Untapped tournaments than there is the webcam tournament.
And I've been saying that since the beginning. I mean, I remember when people were trying to do Octagon tournaments, which Octagon is the better client. I don't care what anyone says. Untapped, terrible compared to Octagon. But even Octagon, you can cheat. And I tried to tell people that in the beginning. I got cheated out of a tournament early on that Danny Hype hosted. And it's just there's just so many ways you can manipulate those programs. I mean, there's just so many things you can do. I'm not going to pay money when I know I'm going to get cheated, unless there's a ton of participation prizing. If I know I'll make that money back from that, and you want to cheat to win a couple extra cards,
you got
sure,
it, bro.
But But yeah, I still don't know what I'm playing for that. I've been messing around with Starter Frieza a lot. The deck's fun. I got all the cards for
But
it.
that's set 12 though, and so everybody knows.
Set 11.
Oh yeah, set 11.
Yeah,
Sorry,
set
not set 12. Set 11. So everybody knows the deck to play has got to be that SS4 Vegeta deck. It's got to be.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not giving up on Vegeks, but we'll talk about that later. So yeah, but that's coming up in October, and then there is the PPG event. I think you said, Mike.
Yeah, PPG is having like an 18-box tournament, which is pretty much a case and a half.
Okay.
I would imagine the first 12 boxes come from the same case because that would just be fucking silly not to. So it's a case and a half. I don't know what the entry is for that tournament, but Gamers did one set 10, so now PPG is doing one. I think it's cool that they're having tournaments when the regionals are getting canceled.
Oh yeah. I mean, it gives people a reason to keep playing,
exactly.
Keep buying cards.
You gotta buy product for the game to keep going. Like you'll
Right.
hear people say, "Oh, they keep pushing it." What do you want the game to die? Like if they're not making money, there's no reason for them.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it's tough times for everybody. So if you can't afford it, that's one thing. But if you can afford it, you love the game. I've never been one to buy cards just to play in a big tournament. I just enjoy card games. I like playing. If I'm playing against you, I better have the best cards to play against you. I'm pissed if I don't.
That's true. That's it. All my decks are always foiled out, and I literally don't play most of them anywhere except against my boys.
I mean, I relate it to like cars. You look at like car guys that soup up their cars. They're not going out there racing in competitions. Their cars can't even race. They like to look at them. They like to go to the meets. Their friends look at them.
It's like giant dick showing contest.
Yeah.
Who's got the bigger one? So I just like all my decks always foil. All the SPRs, all the foils I like.
Mike wants the biggest dick in cards.
That's right. Absolutely. All the time. I say I riffle shuffle my victory strike just to make people mad. I'm like, gotta let them know. But yeah, so I think that it's cool they're having those tournaments. Giving people a reason to buy products for the people who only buy products for tournaments. Here, I wasn't gonna talk about it, but here we're having another case tournament in Virginia Beach. We had one at set 10. It went well. Couple big name players showed up for it. I appreciate them coming out, showing support. Hopefully some of them are gonna come back out. I know a couple of them are, but hopefully all of them come back. The local scene here. Semi-competitive. We got some guys who top 32 a lot of times in events when they go to them, but they haven't got over the hurdle yet, or the hump, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it should be good. That's the same weekend as PPG. It was an alternative for people on the East Coast who can't go down to Florida, or they're just really scared because Florida has all those COVID cases. My mom lives in Florida. She talks about COVID all the time to me, so I get the fear on that one.
Yeah,
so.
and I mean it's a considerable amount closer if they're from farther up north.
Yeah, so like the Philly guys could come here.
I'd much rather drive 5 hours for the same pricing.
Yeah, it's that same pricing actually. It's going to be, we should have, if we hit max capacity, we'd have 18 boxes as well here, just like last time.
Nice. I didn't know that.
It's the same tournament, just less hype because we're not PPG, but that's cool.
Sure.
Easy wins for me at that point, right?
All right, so I'll talk a little bit about the last tournament I was in. So last weekend was the webcam tournament, and I took Vegeks to it. I've been pretty much playing Vegeks since that starter deck came out. I was playing a skillless version. I think that was the best version prior to Anniversary Box coming out. Once Anniversary Box came out, there was no reason really to play anything but the same list everyone's playing, minus whatever 5 or 6 cards you want to swap in or out. Going through the whole line with the Vegeta reinforcements and into the 4-drop Mass Saiyan. But yeah, the deck was a lot of fun. I did well. I got 7th place. My first 4 rounds were all meta decks, so I played against Vegeks, Vegito, and Green Frieza. I literally won every game with 7-drop Mira.
I told him to play that. I was like, this card is broken.
That's what I was about to say.
I was like, I think no one played it in the Max Showdown tournament because they were like, just in case Bandai is fucking retarded and decides not to do anything to Vegeks, they didn't want everybody knowing about that card. That card is insane in that deck. Like, everybody talks about how, this big Bibidi. Well, if I just play this mirror, I know you have no negates because you've milled them or we're in a situation where the negates just aren't going to work for you. You're dead. This shit's fucking huge.
And you can foo back the mirror, which is the crazy part. So you only need to play 1 in the deck. So it only takes up 1 spot. Literally won every game. Both the Vegeks mirrors, it just made it so easy.
They could have 4 Bibidis. They could have the Jordan Markle special. Like, they're like fucking 4 Bibidis. And Supreme Kai's are like, yeah, all right, take this fucking mirror. They're like, damn, that shit's big. Like, 240k. Like, Jesus Christ, you're not getting out of that.
No. Yeah, the mirror was huge. Made both the Vegeks matchups easy. When Vegeta was actually very close. My luck in this tournament, honestly, was god awful. My mills, terrible. I would say in over half my games, I was not hitting targets till my third turn. Insane. Oh, there was a game where I whiffed on Vegeta reinforcements from deck.
That's not
That should never happen.
Never.
So yeah, but it was a fun match though. Starter Frieza was close. I mean, he ripped a bunch of cards. The problem with that matchup though is Fu and Bibidi. I mean, you can rip them, but I just
get them right back.
Right. You just have to be smart about it. You can't try and hold them. You got to use them when they have the value. I see people trying to hold them and then they get ripped because Frieza has the random discard. But
that's just playing wrong, right? Like, if everybody tries to make it seem like, oh, it's hard. No, if I just play correctly, I just win.
Right. It's just like it's. I know before we were talking about Cell Chain. When you play against Cell Chain, there are a lot of people who would, I don't know, people wouldn't play around it. But if you put yourself in a position where they're only ripping 2 cards to tap all this energy, is it really worth it? And you just have to use those cards rather than keep them in your hand. You have to use them as pressure. Which it's the same concept here. They're gonna rip my cards, so I just use them as pressure instead. But yeah, those 4 rounds were all 4 meta decks back to back. I was kind of surprised just because it was a webcam tournament. But 5th round, I played Red, Yellow, Pan. I was not expecting to ever see that list, but I did. It was unfortunate. He forgot about the Vegeta Activate Battle skill and played his Digging Deep. And then once I tapped 2 for that, that was
This game.
That was unfortunate for him.
Side note: no one should ever play Pan. I hate that deck. Hate it.
I think it's cool.
It draws
cards.
Every time I play the deck, I either beat the shit out of the opponent like real fast, like we're done in 10 minutes both games, or I get my shit pushed in. We're done in 10 minutes both games. I'll never forget when I played Atlantic City versus Tim Palacios, January PPG tournament. It was like the first pro play tour of the year. I was like, oh, I'm about to win. I kind of know who he was. Regrets. It was he Ginyu'd my Figure of Majesty, and Figure of Majesty reborned a Yamcha, and that's when I said I'm done playing for the day pretty much. I finished out the tournament, but I did not want to play anymore. My heart was out at that point. So, fuck Pan.
But, yeah, after then, 6 and 7, I took L's. Round 6, I played Sin Shenron. Lost the die roll, which was miserable in that matchup. And did not see any of my pieces to go aggro on turns 1 or 2. So, unless they just whiff on literally everything, you can't win at that point. They established way too big of a board.
Zarbon, block.
Especially without siding. And he was playing Meki Kabura, too, in the main.
The black card?
Mm-hmm. So he kept Meki Kaburing my 4-drop Mass Saiyan, and I was like, I literally need it to win. Like,
oh, that's broken.
Yeah, so because it's best of 1, you know, best of 1 strat. Yeah, it was crazy.
I played that card when it first came out, and I was like, this card is not as good as I thought it was. But
no, but right there, it's pretty good. Especially when I needed, like, the only thing I can do is try and burn you, right?
Yeah.
Like, what else am I gonna do at that point against Shenron?
You can't get through the big
yeah,
9
that was pretty. I mean, you know, we tried to get there, but it's okay. Last round was Invoker. Invoker honestly was close. I couldn't push through that last life. And best of 1, I find it very difficult.
Was it my boy Evan U7?
No, it was actually my boy Legends Carrick. He's always selling stuff. Cool guy.
Yeah, I've bought from him before.
Yeah, he's out in Florida. Real nice guy.
I think he's on FOE actually, right?
I have no idea. Nice guy. It was a fun match. It was close, but it was what it was. But yeah, so that was my time at the event. Got the top, got my invite, so I'm excited for the tournament next month.
All right, let's get into this ban list. My biggest complaint about this ban list is they should have not eroded that blue ape. How do you print a card and print it wrong?
Every person definitely thought that you were just gonna say Bibidi.
No, fuck the Bibidi talk. Like, that's not what. No, it's definitely this blue ape shit going on. You make a TP for a set that has not dropped yet, and then you're like, yeah, we did this shit wrong. Let's make this card astronomically worse than what it is.
It's terrible.
Like, it was already, like, it was decent. You would have played it in every blue deck, I don't even know how many you would have played, but you definitely would have played it though, because it takes your unison spot. So, and unisons are so valuable in today's
You
like
could
game.
draw 2 cards by tapping 2.
Yeah,
That's
but like,
been proven to be good by the $100 Saiyan Instincts.
exactly. But it's such a worse version though, because it has to be in a unison spot. And it required double blue, and not only that, it was like, I don't know. It just, you're giving up so much to play it right there. Like, you're not gonna be able to play any unison. I just can't imagine a world where I'm like, yeah, my unison just draws me 2, and that's about it. Like, that's what my unison's here to do. And you got to tap the 2 energy still. So the turn you played on turn 2, you can't draw no cards because you're tapped out. So then on turn 3, you had to tap 2. I'm like, okay, this isn't the worst, but it damn sure ain't the best though. Like, the ape is a million times better.
Right, because at what point are you making a play?
Exactly, you're not doing anything. But then they said, nah, this is too good, and let's make it 2 blue and 2 colorless to draw 2. Like, there's no point to play this card. I'm going to be pissed the moment I open my TP pack and it's that fucking card. I'm literally going to be mad.
I've been trying to think about the logic behind it. I don't know if they're scared of community backlash because of how expensive the apes were, and they think maybe
that has to be it. Because I thought when they showed the errata, I thought they showed it weeks ago. Actually, we all thought it was kind of a joke. I was like, oh, maybe they're going to errata the yellow ape.
Right.
You know, I was like, maybe that's coming.
I could see that.
But then they dropped this list and there's no errata on the yellow ape. So it's like, why did you do this to this card? And then you re-emphasize that you were doing it to the card. You told me like a week ago you were doing it. Like, damn. But Bibidi, everybody's like upset
just banned it.
about it. It should have been banned.
I personally hate this game and the way they do erratas.
Yeah, errata shouldn't be in the game. Like, you literally are printing the cards.
I'm okay with some erratas. Like, I'm okay if there's like, a decent card, they made a little mess up, they really wanted in the game, sure, errata the card. But I mean, have you looked at the errata list lately on the website?
It's long as hell.
You scroll for days.
Yeah, it's too long.
If I'm a new player, I'm never reading all those.
They had the errata like when they left off super combo in the beginning of the game. Sure, errata those cards.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, that type of stuff is fine. Like, that's a printing error. The SS3 Gogeta SCR with the errata on the cost. Sure, like all that stuff is fine, but at this point, if a card is just broken, if it's not a printing error, it's a actual like
the card is broken.
The card's broken. Don't errata it. Just ban the card.
The card did what you wanted it to do.
Exactly.
That isn't the point of an errata.
Make a new copy of the card. Like, they could have literally said, okay, no Bibidi. All right, but here's Bibidi that does this though.
Exactly.
It's that simple of a fix, but they're just, I don't know. I guess lazy or not trying to waste character art. I don't know. I mean, they're taking from Dragon Ball Heroes, which has a million arts they could use. So I don't think the art's the issue. I just think it's laziness and just like not wanting to put cards in the next set. But they should just do it, or like put them in TPs. There's a million product releases between each other. There's somewhere in there they could have made a new Bibidi card instead of errata, and now it's unplayable. Like, I think anybody playing it lost their mind.
There's no way I'm playing.
I would rather play a super combo that says draw 2 and put 1 on the bottom of my deck.
Well, yeah, that's what everyone's going to play. I don't see a world where you're not doing that unless there's, I don't know. I mean, the only argument I've heard that I don't necessarily agree with is that it will make a faster reset for Vegeks. For one, it's one card, and for two, what are you scared about resetting now?
I say there's no reason to be scared.
Right, the whole reason was
Bibidi.
Pumping up Bibidi.
But now I'm not pumping up Bibidi. I actually want to reset, because when I milled the cards I like, I don't have to fool them back now. I'm trying to burn through this as fast as possible.
Right, and then I guess there's arguments that they're the same, because if I play this 10k super combo and I draw, there's a chance I draw into cards that don't combo. One, that's such a low chance. And two, I'm drawing 2. So even if I draw 1 negate, I'm drawing a damn 5k.
Yeah, the deck is filled with 5ks.
And on top of that, if I draw 2 and I put a negate to the bottom of my deck, now I'm getting rid of a card I can't combo with, and I'm probably getting 2, potentially a second super combo.
Yeah, it's that flawed logic is flawed on everybody thinking that the Bibidi is still better than these draw 2 super combos.
I think it's just Bibidi. It's just the name,
Yeah, well, they're delusional. What was the other card on the list? There's one more. It's the ape, Bibidi. And Sun Goten came back.
Yeah, Goten came back, yeah.
That was the worst. That card sucks. I'm 100% sure we're going to see people playing it. Like, be expected. HOM is going to make the comeback. People are going to... And when I say the comeback, I don't mean the comeback in top. I mean the comeback in, like, your local players are going to play it.
You'll see it.
Like, you're going to see people playing, like, 1-2 swap stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's not good. It's, like, 100% terrible. Grandpa Gohan sucks. But Goten's I guess it's an iconic card in this game, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, people miss it. I don't see anything wrong with playing it. I'm never gonna play it.
I'll probably play it in my blue Dende leader deck. But that's a deck I just play for fun. It's not a real deck.
That's what I mean. That's what I meant by saying I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play it in a tournament that's competitive.
I wouldn't play it in a tournament that I paid $1 to enter. Like, it's more like something that you're hanging out with your friends, shooting the shit. Like, yo, check this out. Yeah. It's nothing that's. You're literally playing with -4 cards in your deck at that point, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't see it anymore. I mean, I think it's fine. It came off the ban list.
Yeah, I think that I think it gave us hope, right? That they're going to take cards off this list that they have. Because I've been waiting for Selge 3-drop to come off this list. And I will never forgive them for not giving me my Event Pack was it Event Pack 3 or Event Pack 4 Cell? They were like, well, due to us limiting the card to 1, we're not going to give it an Event Pack art.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I'm never going to forget that. I was so pumped for that. And they took it away from me. Just like how they took away my FDC reprint.
Yeah, I was just going to bring up FDC.
I was waiting for my FDC reprint. I knew that card was on the list. I said, damn, there's about to be a new fucking Champa reprint. I can't wait. Because the only foiling of it is Judge. And I'm not that Judge foil looks bad, but we know Judge foil has nothing on anniversary box foiling. Like, never had. Doesn't touch it at all.
For me, it's more the art. Like, because that FDC was about to be kanji art. Think about that.
Oh, it was going to be kanji art. That was about to be fire. Yeah, because it was... No, it wasn't going to be kanji art. It was going to be the color pastel art. Broly Crown of Retribution.
Then I don't care.
I still care.
You weren't going to play that pastel card.
I was.
They look terrible.
I play Crown of Retribution pastel now.
Yeah, because the original looks awful. There's no way I'm playing that over a level 2 Judge FDC.
I don't have level 2 Judge FDCs, unfortunately. I'm not rich like that, you know. But
that's the first problem.
But, I wanted the new art. I don't know. I like Champa. He's a cool character. But they definitely, it gives us hope though. We can probably get Cell back soon. What other cards we might be able to get Child Wish back. I know everybody thinks that's crazy talk, but
that is crazy talk.
I don't think it is. I think
it is.
I don't think Wish leaders are that good anymore, which means Child's Wish is fine.
I think this is a real wild statement you're making right now.
They're not that good no more. Wish leaders are like the bad version of Surge, and Surge leaders aren't that good right now.
Yeah, they nerfed them.
Yeah, well, there's 2 they didn't nerf. Yeah. No, there's more than 2. There's Broly, Kefla, Cell, and Invoker, right? Yeah. And when they awaken, nobody's like, oh my god, it's the end of the world. We're okay with it. And like, some of them have broken effects, like on their backside. For example, Cell, he literally crusher balls to Filled. That's insane to me. Like.
It is insane.
So, but no one's complaining because,
it's just the overall power level of what you can do with that deck, though.
Child's Wish, though? I mean, it's a 3-drop? 15k or less? How bad could it get? I think they've done a good job keeping it under control. Like, they haven't released a card. I also think Shugesh could come back.
Shug Knight.
I think that if Shugesh came back, if you want to play 4 cards to go with it in your deck, you want to take up 8 spots, sure. I'd rather just play Zamasu Super Combo and rest whatever card I need to rest. I think that Zamasu Super Combo is better than Shugesh Kidku. Now, if there's some crazy saying that comes out, obviously I'll be eating my words right now. I'll be like, damn, I was wrong.
Sure. And I think that's part of it, though, is how much a card limits design space.
Yeah. I mean, and I get it, but at this point, fuck it. I don't know.
I don't know if the game designers think that way, though.
I think I think they do. They literally said Vegeks is fine for all of set 10. So definitely said fuck it there. Yeah. And where else did they say? They let Super Shenron ride for a long time. That shit should have also just been gone.
You're not wrong.
The moment Danny showed that shit, like, get it out of here. What's another? They let things ride that have no business riding. So, like, just let Shugesh come back. If they print some stupid saying that works with it, sure, whatever. It'll be crazy for one format. We'll all be pissed, but we're always pissed anyways. So, at the end of the day, it's fine. Bring them back. Who else can come back? There's another card. It's on my list that can come back.
We can. So they banned all the U3 stuff from.
That shit can stay gone forever.
That's got to stay. Yeah.
Turles can stay gone 21. Forever. Oh, 21 can come back. Like, they're like, it incentivizes monocolor play. Does it really though? Because
there's a lot they got to make it to.
So you got to make it real far. Monocolor decks tend to be able to like really up their speed of killing you.
That felt more like a business push.
I think it was. I do think it was a business push. And I'm okay with them doing that because, like, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I'm like, they got to make money. I enjoy playing. Please do whatever you got to do to make your company keep printing these cards. So I'm okay with it. And anybody who says, oh, they banned my card, dog, you spent like $7 on that shit. Cut it out. Like, if $7 is hurting you, you either need to eat less fast food or not be playing this card game. Whatever one.
I mean,
kick one of your addictions.
On the flip side, though, if you did invest a lot of money into a deck and the card that they banned kills the whole deck.
It didn't kill the deck,
bad.
though. They made that Super 17 card.
I'm saying in general.
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. I can get down with that concept, right? For sure. But Android 21 particularly, they gave you a new win con
sure. Yeah.
in Super 17. I just don't see it. I'm like, stop complaining. Like, I saw some guy in the discussion group. He said, should I buy Raiders Warcry at $11 right now, or are they going to go down even further? Dog, it's $11. My Chipotle meal is $19. I'm going to literally eat that shit and then shit it out 30 minutes later. Cut it out, man. Like, there's something we got to do better as people.
Okay, stop. Hold on. $19. Chipotle. What are you getting?
I'm getting the steak, double, queso, chips, the Mexican Coke. Like, that shit's insane. Like, I'm a huge Coke drinker. If you ever see me, I'm probably drinking a Coke. I'm drinking a whole lot of Coke. And I'm just like, when I've had the first taste of the Mexican Coke, I said, oh my God, what is going on here? It's a whole new taste, man. It opened up my eyes. So, and then what else do I get? Oh, that's it. Yeah.
That's $19?
Yeah, after tax. Ooh. Double steak. Okay. Queso, and a Mexican Coke.
See, I don't eat there like that.
With chips. So good, though. Every time. And I eat Chipotle for lunch all the time when school year's in. I go on my lunch break to go get Chipotle. They know my order when I get there. They just start making it because they know what I want. So
we'll get back to Dragon Ball in a second. My main problem with Chipotle, though, their salsa just not up to par with Moe's. And their chips, not up to par with Moe's.
Their chips sometimes are the worst chips ever. They're like greasy and like flimsy. And I'm like, yo, who did this?
And you got to pay for them.
Yeah, but I inspect the bag, though, before I leave. I open up my bag, like, these chips ain't no good. And then, so I just get new chips. Because sometimes the chips are fine. It's just,
I don't have to do that. $19, I want some good chips.
The bowl is so good. Moe's bowls aren't as good. But Moe does have that crunch wrap. Oh, my God. What's that? The Wrong Doug? But I'm getting on a tangent. I'm hungry. I'm talking about food.
Yeah. But so wrapping up on the ban list, what do you think happens to Vegeks at this point as a whole?
I think Vegeks is still the best black leader in the game with ease. Burst 5, draw a card without having to attack is actually crazy.
Yep.
And then when you follow it up with that, it can't be milled out, which that's Black deck's biggest problem normally is getting milled out. Outside of like Kid Ku, or Shinron, those are unique decks, obviously. But like the Black decks that burst, they get milled out, they lose to being milled out, or they just they mill themselves out and lose. So he doesn't mill himself out. So reusable super combos at that point, like they can just reuse super combos. That's also crazy to me. And his backside giving the unison double strike. While every Black Saiyan leader can play the whole Vegeks line, everything Vegeks can play, they can play it. They don't get to give their unison double strike. That is invaluable because there's no real interactions for unisons. We all thought when Set 11 came, there's going to be a lot of interactions. They're still not there. They're not there. The interaction they gave us sucks. Yeah. So you're just like, oh my God. So this unison, this little Gotenks is going to get double strikes in. So you better have the negates or you better have the combo power every turn.
Yeah.
And Vegeks is awakening on turn 2. Every game, as long as they open that Trunks card, they're going to awaken. So it's like, you're really looking at a situation where you go, can Xeno Goku or any other like Demigra, can any of them do what he does better? And you're like, no, it's just not possible. I do think you're going to overwhelm more than you ever could.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think with the new set, especially when we hit set 11, you're going to end up playing big overwhelm packages.
Oh yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I think the deck can become a little more fragile depending on how you're playing it and what plays you have to make. Because it can definitely mess with your sequencing, and it can mess with, can my leader's ability actually reset, or do I need to try and go in right
that's
now?
Where I'm playing, making an entrant Son Goku and the ISR Goku to fix that
that's
problem. That's
going to help with that. And I mean, and then what's the other card that helps with that? The
Vegeta time regulator?
No, the extinction attack.
Oh yeah, extinction attack also. Yeah. Like you have several options. Like I know some people hate extinction attack. I'm on the fence about it. Sometimes I think it's good. Sometimes I think it's not.
I would just rather we talked about this some earlier. I would rather not lose FDC and be able to play the extinction attack for 1 and know I can fix my deck rather than have a 2-card combo with a deck that mills 5 and also lose out on my FDC.
Yeah, I mean you're not wrong there. But like I just remember when I played Hachiat because it reminds that card ISR Goku was insane in Hachiat. So I'm trying to overwhelm as much as possible because I'm going to play that new SR Bardock. Like that card's crazy.
These overwhelm cards are insane.
Yeah, like I pay 1 black and my opponent can't do nothing but attack 1 time next turn. That's Nimbus with legs. Right. I'm all about that.
I mean that is literally, I think that puts the deck with Bibidi being eroded. I mean, sure, you don't have a crazy over-the-top broken card that just says, I win. But at that point, that's a win more card, right? Like, I think there are literally, I would say, I'll go out on a limb and say over half the time I've won on my finishing attack, if my super combos were the bottom deck 1 draw 2, I probably still would have won.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the Bibidi, although obviously it needed to be fixed because it was broken and you could just take games you had no business taking, defend attacks you had no business defending. I don't think it hurts the deck as much as people think. And with these crazy overwhelm cards with everything else going on, I think that having that defensive tool now, because that was half of what Bibidi did for you.
Mm-hmm.
So now this card's basically gives you that back. So you have half of Bibidi back with this card, and you can go just as aggressive. And now you can just run through your deck quicker because you're going through 2 cards. So I think it's probably still fine. I think it's still a top tier deck.
I just imagine like, if my reset's at 20 and I'm overwhelming and I'm picking cards that I put back into my drop for the reset, I'm making my deck the way I want it to be.
Exactly.
That's insane.
It gives you a lot of control. Like
it's definitely not kill you turn 2, turn 3, but I'll play turn 4, turn 5 with you and just do what I want to do at this point.
Yeah.
I would say it's got to be still the best black deck, probably in the top 5 decks next set. So you can't go wrong playing in an event. Only way.
And I mean, we don't know what draft box is going to do either.
Oh yeah, draft box
can drastically change things.
I personally don't think it normally does, but it definitely could though, for sure. So we'll definitely see what draft box does to it. But I think on the release, I think you'll see at the case tournament for PPG, you'll see tons of people playing Vegeks still. There's no way you're off of Vegeks. Like with all those new cards. Now this week at this 1K, I would not be playing Vegeks because your Bibidi's not.
You don't have these new cards for it. I mean, I don't know. I think you could play it, but it becomes a very, very fair deck.
Yeah, very fair. And when people are out here playing a Booney on turn 3, I don't know. I don't want to be I don't want to be that fair.
Right.
Like,
but you also hate Pan, so
yeah,
the logic checks out.
Exactly.
All right. We'll move into the last segment. We'll finish each episode up with we play test usually at least once or twice a week. A lot of times more than that. Just playing different decks. We all play each other. So Mike, you can start if you want. What have you been playing this week? How have your matches been?
I've been just playing my Bulma deck, making tweaks to it, and then like I've played everybody else's decks like that they have built, and just like playing. I normally have 1 or 2 decks built. I have like all the cards in the game for the most part. There's like a couple cards you may be like, oh, you don't have that one, sure. I'll just proxy it, but like, I have most of the cards. I'm just lazy with my deck building, so I just don't make a bunch of decks. But I do play everybody on the team's decks normally. So like I played Vegeks this week. That deck's broken, but again, it's gone next set, so that's cool. I've been playing my Bulma deck, trying to get ready for this 1K. I got to represent for all the Bulma players. I got this Metal Leader. Shout out to Chris Anderson over at Spirit Maui Customs. I got to show that off. I haven't really green hand control has been my issue with Bulma, but it's not unwinnable. So I was like, that's cool. But other than that, testing's been fine. I've been testing the baby deck though. For set 12 or set 11.
Set 11, yeah.
Deck's a hoax. There's no way.
I agree.
Sucks. There's no way that's real. Like, it's this giant counterplay deck that does not draw cards effectively, so you're gonna burn out. And if your opponent has any form of intelligence, they're gonna put you in a bad spot. Like, yes, your cards are reduced in cost, but they're not that good that they're not Vegeta exploiting weakness good. They're like,
right.
I don't even know. They're like SS4 Vegeta Crusher Ball, like that. They're like that good.
I think it's I think it's a good representation of what Blue has struggled with for almost the entirety of the game.
Yes.
It does a lot of things, but it struggles finishing, and that's why. Think about how many formats we've been through. At how many times has Mono Blue been the strongest deck in the format?
Rarely. We have the SS3 format where you could play Mono Blue and Dragon Fist was like your boy.
Right. You had Harudagarn, similar deck.
And that was more black based than it was blue. Also, when it was just Mono Blue, they played all the Demigra stuff in that deck. It was like a hand control deck.
And I mean, you've got Zamasu and Vegito now.
Yeah.
And that's mainly Abuni.
That's just Abuni carrying them, right? It's just like, and then Vegito's Unison Triple Strike. You're like, oh my god, he's got Triple Strike from afar.
A lot of times I think the majority of the formats, Blue's been in good support color.
Yeah, it's yellow is like been the color in this game, but blue has not been it. But so yeah, I think like it struggles to win, it struggles to close games. And then just like hand size. How are you getting cards in your hand? And that Super Baby Trunks Unison card, while I do think the card is good and valuable, I don't see how you're playing in that deck. You don't untap energy ever. So are you going to tap out on 3 for that? If you do, you probably just lost the game that turn. If you on turn 4 you play it, right? Okay, like turn 4 play it, awaken my leader. I have 2 energy up, pass. You have very few things you can do right there. They're like you're in a hard spot. It depends on what you're putting. Like yes, if you have the Trunks, the free Trunks counterplay, it's amazing. You're like, oh, bounce that. All right, negate this. All right, now your opponent's in a rough spot. But that's you having everything in a deck that doesn't draw a lot. So you're telling me you're going to draw perfect every game you play? I'm out on that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not very high on it. I haven't put a whole lot of thought into it, so I could be missing something. What you're saying makes sense. I know Sean was messing with it. We played the match a few times. His hand size wasn't that bad, but it just didn't do enough. So I don't know. And I think he's off of it now too.
Oh, he's definitely off of it. Yeah. I was like, I've beat him so many times the past 2 weeks that he's just like, no, I'm not on that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I've been mainly, I've been playing Vegeks a lot, but after the last tournament, so this past week I really haven't been playing it as much because I think everyone was expecting Bibidi to get hit this week. So I thought if I'm playing in this finals, depending on how bad it looks for Vegeks, start messing with other things. So I gravitated over to starter Frieza, and it's been fun. It's not really my kind of deck.
He can't open the pod, so he doesn't like it.
He's not wrong. The deck does not like me. I would say every other game, no pod opening hand. That is miserable. That feels absolutely miserable.
I play the deck, I'm opening the pod. Let's say every game almost. Very rarely. But the same thing with Vegeks deck. Like he doesn't open the Trunks overwhelm card. I opened it every game.
I just have terrible luck in this game, to be honest. People talk about how they see these cards all the time on turn 1. I'm like, y'all got to be cheating. I don't know. I don't get it. That does not happen for me. But yeah, I mean, starter freeze is fun though. My biggest complaint aside from that is so many at least it feels like at surface level from the past week of testing, and I did test it when the deck first came out. There's so many cards I feel like I have to play. And it's not even cards, I guess, that necessarily go with the main combo. It's not even cards that everyone plays, but when I look at them, I'm like, there's no way I'm not playing Tournament Pack Zarbon and Ginyu.
Oh, you're playing those.
I'm playing those. There's no way not playing the Medical or Unison right now. You have to play the Dodori. You got to play the Freezing Pod. There's just so many cards I'm forced to play.
Got to play deck. Dormant. Got to play Frieza Counterplay.
Right. I mean, there's so many things, and I'm not playing more than 50 cards in my deck.
Yeah. So you're left with that question: how do I win?
Right. Right. Exactly. And I think that's the biggest problem with the deck. And there's certainly ways to win. It's just not my favorite style of play. I love hand control, but that style of hand control is just not my favorite. But I have all the cards, so I might end up playing it. I don't know. Got to keep testing it out, see what else I have.
I'm going to play SS4 for Vegeta, because once the cards come out and I show them what the deck do, you're going to be on it.
It does look sweet. But yeah.
That's the next leader to get banned in this game.
That deck is definitely going to be nuts.
Like, there's no way my opponent should be able to have 3 untapped energy on turn 2. No. Something seems wrong here.
Yeah. No, agreed. But that seems to be going well, though. We did try out, and Sean tried out, he's been trying the Red Gogeta stuff.
That shit's awful. Like, it's...
All right. The problem is right now, if you're playing against it, like I'm playing starter freeze against it, right? When that says and he's on the play, and he can drop this card that says it can't be KO'd, that feels miserable.
Sure, but it's readable. And not only that, my issue with that deck is if that card's not good, the deck isn't doing anything. Like, if the Gogeta chain that they're playing isn't good, the deck sucks. So, like, if your opponent's like, oh, I don't care about you having this card that can't be KO'd. I have negates or I have blockers or whatever at that point. What's the point? This is terrible. Like, this actually does nothing.
Right.
Like, it suffers from what most red decks in this game have suffered from. When your boss monster's not good, the deck sucks. Like, and that Gogeta's nothing but what's the baby, the red baby, Apocal Grudge. It's nothing but baby Apocal Grudge, but in a different, I guess, a suit or whatever. It's the same card. That baby.
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely has a higher ceiling though.
I think it has a lower ceiling.
I don't think so.
30.
That big Gogeta that comes down.
The 8-drop one.
Yeah.
But see, the issue with that is it's a Goku, a Vegeta, a Gogeta, and a Gogeta. That's a 5-card combo.
Oh no, but that's why I'm saying a higher ceiling. I'm not saying more consistent.
Yeah, sure. I get what you're saying there, but my issue with agreeing with that is, you're never gonna get there. Like, your opponent.
He got there. That's how I lost.
Green, you'll get there against green. You won't get there against blue. You won't get there against yellow. You won't get there against red.
I'm just saying,
or black.
There's formats where I could see it being good, and especially, I guess my mind right now is also focused on best of one.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting ready for this webcam tournament. Best of one, not being able to have an answer. If my deck, you know, if I'm playing dormant and I'm playing cards that all say KO, and not playing things that say warp, or my opponent choose or like remove from the field, whatever. I mean, it felt almost at points, if he's on the play, just unwinnable if he draws his combo.
No, I agree. If that deck in best of one would be a lot better than it would be in best of three. But we all know this game's a best of three game for the most part, though. So, like,
right.
I think your webcam tournament is best of three.
The finals is?
I think the finals is best of three. So
I haven't seen the full details on it yet.
I believe when they announced it was best of three, they said.
Yeah,
so
I'm still waiting on like the actual invite to come in.
It's cool. It'll be like tier 2. You know, that's cool. You know,
yeah.
You could play it at locals. You could probably play it at like a regional size event and top. You won't win the event, but sure.
If you have a good run, good matchups.
The green Go Tanks deck is real cool. The problem with that deck so far I'm discovering is hand size as well. A lot of these decks just...
It's like replacing, but it's not plussing.
Yeah, I'm looking for
People have
pluses.
a weird, like, you have to think about when you play the card and you draw a card. That's not plussing.
No.
You're going even.
That's zero. That's just like, you know, zero's fine, but I need pluses. So I'm exploring that deck to see where I can find the pluses at. That's my big
deck
thing.
Does look sweet though.
Yeah. The foils on all the cards look good. I'm interested for sure. What other deck? Oh, the Broly swap deck. It's okay. It's not good, but it's okay. If maybe somebody sees there's a problem. Something about, like, when you get to the third piece on the swap, what am I doing afterwards? That's my issue right now. But if somebody can figure out something to do right there, this is all right then. You can't go all the way up the chain in 2 turns unless you're lucky, and I don't like relying on being lucky. So we'll see.
Logic checks out, you know. But yeah. Anything else that you want to talk about?
No, come check us out next week. You know, we'll have more to talk about. Actually, next week I'll be able to tell you guys how the 1K went. Give you a little report on how it goes.
Probably it depends when you get back.
Yeah, it actually does depend when I get back.
But it'll probably be the week after next. I'll probably do one without you next week.
Oh, you'll get Sean up here. Yo, you guys
can get Sean up here.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Get Sean up here. But you know, when I come back, we'll talk about the 1K and how it went. Hopefully, I'll be $500 richer. You know. Well, hopefully, I actually be like $10,000 richer. We're going to the casinos, but
that's where the real money's at.
Exactly. But no, that's it. Look out for me in the discussion group. I'm always up there talking shit all the time. Sorry if you're listening to me and I've talked shit to you. Don't take it personal. I just talk a lot of shit. It's just who I am.
To everyone.
To everyone. I talk shit to my mother. I talk shit to my 9-month-old son all the time. So, you know, it's just how I am.
It's all in good spirit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's everything, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll put Trevor's YouTube, Sean's YouTube, all the links that you guys can check out our content below.
I got a real world problem on my back every day. I got a set this way to try whatever I want.